The clouds push in with a mist all around Paris, France. The teenager in red with black spots panics, spots his familiar face as he sounds, and the feels of being around them is unearthly. The gentle mist released the fog around her. Out from the watery mist flings out tiny little butterflies, elegant and gentle, fluttering a calm among their entrance. Through his magic eyes he sees himself in her, her hair like the hue of his attire, his night angel who only sleeps when Hawkmoth allows her to. Cat Noir's neon green eyes were now two different shades of colors. One could not tell if it was light reflected from the street lamps, or was his eyes yellowish gold with silver reflecting from his cat irises. Ladybug's hair was pulled out from his confinement from a tree branch pulling at it. Cat Noir wasn't Cat Noir, nor was he having the appearance of ADRIEN of DEAREST. He turned to face her as he heard his common name in the air. Adrien! 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 Adrien? Folding his arms, he stared quietly at the voice who called to him. Sure, his color had changed. He looked at peace and had the sweet disposition of Adrien. The butterflies flew round him like tiny little birds greeting him, almost as if they were the savior of their Sally Prince. They reverenced him in such a manner that Ladybug felt lost in her thoughts. She always thought of glass windows of a cathedral. All he needed attached to him was wings of a dove. The piece would be complete. After the butterflies played tag on her fingers, from her hand reaching out to him, she called to him once more. Adrien! Adrien! Adrien? Again her voice echoed to his sharp hearing. His body or suit was glowing like a moon, and some patches of the lights that he absorbed from the moon it seemed. He finally stood in front of her, his arms crossed, then paced up to her till she was below his shoulders. For a moment, they stared eye to eye at one another, without a word. He placed his hand upon her shoulders, then hugged her in a tight embrace. I remember you. I remember you. Dearest You, Catwalk Fanfiction, Part 3. The wind whistled in the trees as the blonde wonder held her tightly, the way a child cherishes a beloved creature that's dear to their heart. Something tickled her nose, other than the flutter of black and white butterflies. It loosened in a type of silk ropes as she spotted it in the corner of her eye. The object was peering. It glowed. A flower shade. Not golden. Maybe the color of a crown used to make a semi-gold color. To color the hair on a colored book gold, minus the metallic version. A voice whispered in her ear, so soundly that it could only be made from a telepathic. Was Adrien using his inner voice to speak to her, or was it coming from her imagination? Marinette, I'm right here with you. Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. I can hear you, beloved. After a long hold on her, the blonde child pulled back, laying his hands upon her shoulders, glancing directly at her. Close inspection dawned on her. His normal, almost shoulder-length hair had grown out, taking on the shape of long strands with waves. It was being blown to the effects of the wind. As he formed in front of her curious eyes, the webbing had connected almost out of thin air, his eyes still giving her the most majestic, unearthly tones of green and silver. Adrien grasped at a Velcro snap and released it with shoestrings on the back of his suit. Pulling also out from his back, he straightened out wings. Not just any wings, but one belonging to a very special moth species. Speranza virginica. Mix that with the wings of a turtle dove, you would have the wings of this new transformation. His feline ears were light purple, or shades of silver, that appeared that color in the night atmosphere. I lost you. Ladybug was taken back by his gentle appearance. In his hand, he held a red box with Chinese symbols that held a special object encased inside it. Then he spoke again. Not to the real world. You'll never lose me, my lady. Take it, my lady, please, he said, to her mind with only his eyes glued to her. They were the sincere eyes of Cat Noir, or at least the unique version of the Black Cat. Behind those eyes, underneath the mask, was Agent Agrest. She gladly accepted her hands out to receive this gift with a genuine smile on her face. His eyes gleamed as he smiled once back at her.